Pokemon Diamond and Pearl are to many people the best main series Pokemon games ever up to this point, even referring to the DS era as the golden age of Pokemon. Of course, no matter what generation you're talking about, there will be people that say that those games are their favorite generation. While most of the time, people are blinded by nostalgia and great memories of their childhood, there are really great aspects that stick out from other generations. I absolutely love the Sinnoh region, and Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were some of my favorite Pokemon games ever, which is why I'm so excited for the potential remakes coming this year. But today, I present to you everything wrong with Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe. It's free and you could always unsub if you change your mind later on. Comment below what games I should cover next, and join my Discord server. One flaw about this generation is the lack of new Fire-type Pokemon. Of course you got your starter Pokemon Chimchar, which has 2 evolutions. Then we got Magmortar, one of the Rotom forms that everyone forgets, and the legendary Heatran. That's it! Only 6 fire types in total were added, with half of those just being your starter. Having a fire type is pretty important on your team, and if you don't start with Chimchar, you'll be left with almost no options. In Diamond and Pearl, for the first time ever, you could trade online with players from around the world. This was an amazing feature that almost everyone used if they were able to, but it was near impossible to actually get what you wanted. If you wanted to find a Pokemon like Carnivine, you would search it and find people requesting for an Arceus from level 1 to 9. There was almost no filter for what you could actually request, leading to so many people requesting Pokemon that were impossible to get without cheating. Now, you could always deposit a Pokemon and hope someone would trade with you, but you had to offer something that they probably didn't have in order to secure a trade. As well as that, it could take you literal days for someone to accept your deposit, or even longer. Oh, and did I mention you could clone Pokemon with a GTS? How broken was this thing? It was the first time you could really use internet features in Pokemon, so I gotta cut them some slack. But this thing felt like it was in a beta stage the entire time. Since these were the newest games at the time, many people were super excited to transfer old Pokemon up from the Gen 3 Pokemon games. We've been stuck on the Game Boy Advance for years at this point, and, well, you could do this, but there were just some things about it that made you think, why? First of all, you could only send 6 Pokemon up at a time. This just slowed the entire process down a ton, because if you wanted to send just 1 box of Pokemon, that would take 5 transfers to do so. As well as that, you had to wait 24 hours in between transfers. As a kid, it sucked knowing that it took a full Monday through Friday school week just to send 1 box of Pokemon to my new game. Pokemon that you transferred up weren't allowed to have any HM moves either, which meant you had to go back on those old games and find the move deleter in whatever game you were playing. As well as that, you had to complete the main story to actually be able to transfer Pokemon. Do you know how impatient 4-year-old Kepdog was? I didn't even know how to spell my name. Now, this next part, I don't know if it was just myself as a kid being trash at Pokemon, but there was this one specific battle that in my opinion was way too challenging. Commander Mars from Team Galactic has a required battle against you pretty early on in the game. By this point, your starter should be barely at the point of evolution. She starts with a level 14 Zubat that could confuse you as well as poison you. With how early on this point is in your playthrough, that's pretty crazy in my opinion. But that wasn't even the worst of this battle. Her Purugly is an absolute beast. Out of all 3 starters, it's only weak to Monferno if you have Double Kick, and it has the ability to put you to sleep, make you flinch, and it has an Oran Berry. This thing is extremely hard at this point, and only the best made it out alive. Quick reminder to smash that like button if you haven't yet. Okay, back to the video. The underground system was really good and memorable in my opinion. The music sounded great, and it felt almost addicting mining out those shiny holes in the wall just hoping to find a fossil Pokemon. One part about the underground that I hope gets some improvement in the remakes is just how it worked overall. It didn't take too long to get your bag full of those spheres, and the underground bases were a bit underwhelming. Now in 2021, there's a bit less to do down there without Wi-Fi capability, but it's good overall. I just wish that there was a bit more replayability, because once you get both fossils down there isn't much reason to return. Some things I got to experience but majority of people didn't were the events in these games. I had an action replay as a kid, which turned out to be a lot of fun because I got to go battle and catch Arceus, walk through walls, anything you could really think of. But there were probably so many people that thought they completed the games and didn't realize that there was an event that was completely unreleased. I got the Manaphy egg legitimately from Pokemon Ranger, but that was another one that a whole lot of people missed out on. I remember breeding a ton of Fione since that was a thing, and my friends and classmates didn't even know what that was. Something a lot of people forget when looking back at Gen 4 is the fog in these games. Defog is a new HM introduced in Sinnoh, and it's basically only used just to clear the weather up around you. If you don't use it, your accuracy is lowered a ton in battle, so it's recommended you carry something with Defog. It just feels like one of those things that no one really likes. There aren't really any good memories I can recall from fog existing at all. Just like in real life, nobody wants to walk around with impaired vision. It just took up an extra move slot in a lot of people's Pokemon, especially Staraptor, since a ton of people had one of those. The rivals in these games aren't bad, but they aren't really good either. Barry is your main rival, and this was one of the first rivals so far in all Pokemon games that didn't feel intimidating at all. Something about Barry just screams the exact opposite of scary. There was no drive to get stronger to defeat him, he just felt like a casual trainer. Dawn felt more like a friend than a rival, since she helps you out multiple times throughout the story. This makes more sense because Dawn is Ash's friend in the anime, not his enemy. But overall, I wish that Barry was a bit more like a rival and less like a friend. Besides that, there really isn't much more to complain about. I think the most annoying things I could remember as a kid were definitely the slow and difficult transfers with the PAL Park, as well as that fight with Commander Mars. But overall, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were amazing games, and I cannot wait to see them be remade. I really hope a lot of time goes into them from Game Freak, because people will be really disappointed if it's not perfect. Before the video ends, I like to include a few things that are great about Diamond and Pearl to leave the video on a good note. I absolutely love the music in these games. There are so many tracks that I could never get enough of. I like the variety in gym leaders. They all have their own unique traits about them that make them feel different from each other. The weather's great in these games, besides the fog of course. I love the parts where it's raining in game. I feel like the routes are spread out pretty well, and no gym leader is too easy or too difficult for the most part. I love all 3 starter Pokemon, and all the new evolutions added like Magmortar, Electivire, Magnezone, Porygon Z, you name it. The legendary Pokemon were also great in these games, as well as the mythicals. Anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to let me know what games to talk about next, and as always, I'll see you guys next time.